The cave breathes, not like a living thing, but like stone reluctantly allowing air to pass through it. Damp walls, sweat, salt, and age. The smell is heavy, bat guano, rusted metal, fear left too long without sunlight. Water drips somewhere deep inside, slow and patient, counting time. Drip, drip, drip. The Marine crouches at the entrance, knees aching, rifle hanging uselessly at his side. His helmet is pushed back, revealing a face streaked with dust and sweat. Outside, Saipan screams, machine guns tearing the air, artillery thumping like a distant heartbeat. But inside the cave, silence presses down, thick and suffocating. Then a sound. A child's breath. Too fast, too shallow. The Marine lifts his hands, palms open, fingers trembling despite himself. His throat tightens. He has seen cliffs littered with broken bodies, mothers clutching children as they fall. He knows what waits inside this darkness. "I'm not here to hurt you," he says. He says it in Japanese. The words hang in the air, fragile, almost unbelievable. A woman stifles a sob. Someone whispers a prayer. Fear shifts, alive now, scraping against the stone walls. The Marine closes his eyes for half a second, steadying himself. If he chooses the wrong word, they will die. If he chooses the right one, hundreds might live. The cave holds its breath. The journey to this cave begins long before Saipan. It begins in classrooms far from the Pacific, where chalk dust floats in sunlight and the world still feels orderly. The Marine sits straight-backed, repeating unfamiliar syllables until his jaw aches. Japanese words press against his tongue like borrowed coins. He writes them carefully, over and over, afraid that one mistake might someday cost a life. Years later, those words march with him across black sand beaches. On Saipan, propaganda moves faster than bullets. Leaflets flutter down like dead birds, promising mercy that no one believes. Prisoners captured earlier whisper stories, Americans who torture, who burn, who laugh while killing. The civilians hear worse. They are told surrender is shame, death is loyalty. The Emperor watches. The Marine sees them before he meets them. Families running inland, barefoot, clutching bundles wrapped in cloth. Old men leaning on sticks. Children silent with hunger. Faces hollowed by weeks without food. They vanish into the hills, into caves that promise safety and deliver terror. Each step uphill feels heavier than the last. The jungle closes in, wet and choking. Sweat stings his eyes. Every rustle sounds like an ambush. He remembers his instructor's voices. Use the language carefully. Tone matters more than words. Now, standing before the cave, he understands. This is not a battle of weapons. It is a battle of belief. The first face emerges slowly from the dark. A man, older than the Marine expected. His hair is matted with dust, his cheeks sunken, eyes darting like trapped animals. He grips a rusted bayonet, hands shaking so badly the blade rattles softly against stone. The Marine does not move. He lowers himself to one knee, making his body smaller, less threatening. He speaks again, carefully, gently, as though the words themselves might bruise if mishandled. "You don't have to die here," he says in Japanese. The bayonet wavers. Behind the man, shapes begin to form. Women clutch children. A girl no older than 12 presses a ragged doll to her chest, its face worn smooth by fingers. Someone sobs, quietly ashamed of the sound. Then comes the shock. The Marine reaches into his pack and pulls out a bar of soap. It is thick, white, smooth, it smells faintly of flowers. He sets it on the rock between them. No tricks, no demands. A woman stares at it as if it might explode. Another reaches forward, touches it, then recoils, tears spilling down her cheeks. Soap means water. Water means washing. Washing means being human again. The bayonet slips from the old man's fingers and clatters to the cave floor. For the first time in weeks, no one runs. No one jumps. They simply stare, at the Marine, at the soap, at the impossible idea that the enemy has come bearing something clean. Food changes everything. It begins cautiously. A can opened with a careful twist. A spoon passed from hand to hand as if it might vanish. The smell rises first. Meat, fat, salt, real salt. It spreads through the cave, heavy and overwhelming. Some of them cry before they taste it. The Marine watches a woman lift the spoon to her lips. Her hands shake so badly she spills half of it onto the rock. She does not wipe it away. She licks the stone instead, ashamed and desperate all at once. A boy eats too fast and vomits. His mother panics, apologizing over and over, bowing from the waist. The Marine kneels beside her, speaking softly, telling her it's all right, that there will be more. There will be more. The words sound unreal even to him. In a diary he keeps folded in his pocket, he writes that night, "They eat like people waking from a bad dream." Some smile, some can't stop shaking. One man hid his bread inside his shirt, afraid it would be taken away. Back home they were told Americans starved, that their shelves were empty, that victory was near. Here food is handed out freely. No shouting, no beatings, just metal cans, warm in the hand, and the slow, terrible realization that hunger was not inevitable. It was imposed. And once seen, it cannot be unseen. Dignity arrives quietly, not in speeches or promises, but in small, almost invisible acts. A blanket placed gently around thin shoulders. A wounded foot cleaned without flinching. A guard who looks away while a woman adjusts her torn clothing. The Marine notices how often they bow. At first it is frantic, deep, repeated, desperate, gratitude tangled with fear. Slowly it changes. The bows grow shallower, less frantic, more human. He hears whispers at night. "They didn't hit us. They didn't shout. He spoke to me like I mattered." A teenage girl refuses to sleep at first. She sits upright, eyes fixed on the cave entrance, waiting for the cruelty she has been promised all her life. When it doesn't come, she begins to cry, not loudly but with exhaustion, as if her body has finally given up holding itself together. In his diary, the Marine writes, "The strangest thing is how being treated decently hurts them. It unravels something inside. An old man asks permission before drinking water." The Marine nods, ashamed of a system that taught this man to fear kindness. Outside, the war continues its brutal rhythm. Inside, something fragile takes root. They are not being spared because they surrendered. They are being spared because they are people, and that realization weighs heavier than hunger ever did. The conflict does not end with safety. It deepens. At night, the cave fills with thoughts too heavy to sleep through. The civilians lie awake on borrowed blankets, staring into darkness that no longer feels protective. The Marine hears them whisper, voices low and urgent, as if the walls themselves might betray them. "If this is true," one man murmurs, "then what else have we been lied about?" Letters arrive days later, passed carefully into trembling hands. Paper thin, ink uneven. News from home bleeds through the words. Cities flattened. Rice measured by the handful. Children sent to work, then to war. Victory no longer promised, only endurance. A woman reads her letter again and again, lips moving silently. Then she folds it and presses it to her chest, shaking. The kindness she has been shown makes the loss sharper, not softer. If the enemy can be gentle, then the suffering at home feels cruel beyond reason. The Marine watches their faces change. Belief erodes slowly like stone under dripping water, not all at once, not loudly, but relentlessly. In his diary he writes, "Propaganda didn't fail because we argued against it. It failed because we contradicted it by existing." Some wrestle with guilt. Gratitude feels like betrayal. To accept food is to admit the lie. To survive is to question everything they were taught about honor. One man confesses he planned to kill his family before the Americans arrived. He cannot meet the Marine's eyes. The Marine does not speak. There are no words equal to that weight. Outside, bombs fall. Inside, identities fracture. They are no longer soldiers of an idea. They are not martyrs. They are survivors, caught between who they were told to be and who they are becoming. And the cave, once a place of death, becomes a chamber of painful awakening.